Hello, everybody. This is BK International Talent Scout talking about rebuilding trust versus anger points, or anger points versus rebuilding trust. First, identification and PSAs. BK Radio Podcast, hosted by BK International Talent Scout, is aired on RainierAvenueRadio.world. Rainier Avenue Radio is your community radio station and digital media hub. We are proud to serve Greater Seattle with opportunities to engage with critical issues, compelling stories, and quality entertainment. You'll hear over 70 shows, including music, sports, local and national news, and local talk shows, including political current events, diverse languages, and children programming created by members of your community. And we'll continue to broadcast live from our communities. We are a 24/7 radio station and multimedia network dedicated to amplifying diverse voices of our communities, providers of digital media training to community members and young people to become their own content creators. This is BK Presents on RainierAvenueRadio.world. Today we're talking about rebuilding trust versus anger points. Let's talk about rebuilding trust. How to rebuild trust. Trust is heartwarming. It allows us to believe in others and open up to them as we learn to love and trust others and ourselves through personal and interpersonal relationships. Trust is a major part of the foundation of interpersonal, intimate relationships between family, friends, and associates. Initially, trust may seem easy to come by. However, once broken, it can be lost and destroyed by a single moment of betrayal. And in a fraction of a second, all hope and security can be lost. If a relationship is plagued with suspicion and fear, focus on identifying what trust-building behaviors are. Also, be willing to exemplify a significant amount of energy demonstrating trust-building behaviors. Be consistent, stay on track, and don't give up. Being able to do this will help us begin the journey of rebuilding trust and sustaining trust for a lifetime in a healthy relationship. Let's talk about anger points today. Yesterday, I did a teaching on rebuilding trust to remarry again. But today, I'm going to talk about, for the first time on BK Presents Rainier Avenue Radio.world, I'm going to talk about anger. This information is brought to you by a pamphlet given out at Celebrate Recovery, the problem and solution for women. Freedom for anger, the topic, the problem and solution for women. Yes, I go to Celebrate Recovery because a family member is overcoming and has been in recovery for over 10 years. So I go to Celebrate Recovery to support my family member and also support myself. Let's talk about freedom from anger, the problem and solution for women. The problem. As women who struggle with anger, we may not recognize that our anger has foundations in other basic emotions, usually fear and pain. These emotions may have become damaged as an adult or when we were children. Some of us may have been abused or neglected as children. Others may have lost a parent or a loved one by their death. Many of us may have been abused or cheated on by a spouse or boyfriend. We may learn how to express anger inappropriately from our parents and other relatives or friends. We did not realize that when we lashed out in anger, we were ignoring our fear, our pain, or another deep hurt, habit, or hang-up. Others of us did not even realize we were struggling with anger because we did not express it, but rather stuffed it down and kept silent. As our lives and relationships progress, we may have become addicted to physical symptoms of anger. Some of us may have felt monetary euphoria as the anger was released. Some of us did not recognize we were actually hurting our loved ones and ourselves in the process. In the heat of the moment, releasing our anger was the matter. Some of us felt our anger was justified based on the object of anger actions. If we hadn't come home late from work, I wouldn't have had to yell at him. Or if she had not talked back to me, I would not have to slap her. Or my husband deserves me calling his name, yelling and fighting because he cheated on me. The solution. Let's evaluate anger. Anger is one of my next 10 basic God-given emotions and can be constructive or deconstructive, depending upon response. The focus of this group is on giving Jesus nanosecond, not just 1/1000th of a second, to help me use all of my emotions according to God's design for my life and to appropriately change my patterns relating to my responsibilities to myself and others. Daily quiet time with God. Anger can cause me to live in a conflict and not in peace. I will try to remember that God is in charge of my life and He loves me unconditionally. I will commit to having a daily quiet time with God. Taking a time out moment. When I feel my body arousal, I need to recognize that as a sign that I am getting angry. I will use a timeout to isolate myself from this trigger for my anger and to prevent the anger from becoming too intense. I will ask myself, what is making me angry? How is this a trigger for me? Confronting in love. After the timeout, I will go back and deal with what made me angry. If I leave an issue unresolved, it is likely to return later. I will not use the confrontation as an opportunity to blame, shame, seek revenge, or to rationalize my anger. For example, confronting in love while stating my feelings are, I love you. Here's how the action makes me feel. Or, I feel devalued when this is said or done. Work the 12 steps and connect with others. I will commit to working the 12 steps to attend regularly, to celebrate recovery meetings, and to getting an accountability partner for my anger management. We strongly suggest that each woman obtain a life recovery Bible and participate guides, which are tools we use in Celebrate Recovery. Forgive. Let's talk about forgive and forgiveness. I will become willing to forgive myself and others. The Lord forgave me, so you must be willing to forgive others. That's Colossians 3:13. Forgiveness is not forgetting what has happened, Forgiveness is changing the way I think. Forgiveness is my giving up my desire for revenge. Self-control. Let's talk about ways we can use self-control in overcoming anger. Self-control is a mark of spiritual maturity. While giving it to outward anger or raging or giving the silent treatment stuffing denotes the exact opposite. I will ask myself before I speak, is this true? Is this kind? Is this necessary? I will ask these questions to help control my anger. Is this anger true? Is this anger kind? Is this anger necessary? My emotions are my own choice. I can choose to be positive in my communication, to not withhold approval, acceptance, or affection, to not withhold my presence, to choose equality rather than seeking false feelings or false inferiority feelings. When the trials come, I can assure that if God has allowed them through in His love, they are designed to produce good in me. As I continue to work through my anger, I will be patient with myself, living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time. I will try not to allow guilt or discouragement to drag me lower than my anger does. God, who is the essence of patience, is very willing to take the necessary time to see me through my struggle. Small group guidelines. Keep your sharing focused on your own thoughts and feelings. Limit your sharing to 3 minutes. There will be no crosstalk. Crosstalk is when two individuals engage in conversation, excluding all others. Each person is free to express his or her feelings without interruption. We are here to support one another and not fix one another. Autonomy and confidentiality are basic requirements. What is shared in the group stays in the group. The only expression is when someone threatens to injure themselves or others. Offensive language has no place in a Christ-centered recovery group. Accountability team phone numbers, sponsor, and accountability partners are important. So again, we're talking about freedom from anger, the problem and solution, not only for men, but for women also. The solutions for overcoming anger is to evaluate anger, create a daily quiet time with God, take a time out, confronting in love, working the 12 steps and connecting with others, learning to forgive ourselves and others, and learning to practice self-control. Self-control is a mark of spiritual maturity while giving in to outward anger, raging, or giving silent treatment, stuffing, denotes the exact opposite. I will ask myself these questions as I think or speak. Is this anger true? Is this anger kind?